Alrighty then. Uh, yeah, I'm just looking at the audio mixer, making sure my voice isn't like too loud in comparison to the music or anything. Because I've noticed my streams are quite quiet. I'm not really too sure what to do about that. Either way, let's get continuing on the Typhoeus Gundam. Last time, we got this little... I'm sorry, there's like a Pokemon or some... No, it's definitely a Pokemon that reminds me of the way that this has just like a big head and then a Trapinch. Trapinch is who I'm thinking of. It's got a big head, big gaping maw, and then just a bunch of little legs. That's who it reminds me of. Alright, now that I've figured out that, because I've been wondering about that for a while, we need to make the second one. This actually uses the last of the parts from M. Pretty sure it uses all the parts from M. So we got this one. It's got the leg, or the dragon head with all its bits nice and ready. It spreads out far, I must say. I wonder if someone's going to think of a creative use of being able to spread out this far. That could be interesting. Anyway, throw it down here. We'll not need it until later. F, I, and M. So from F we need 1 and 2. Clean those off with the scraper, with the file. Don't know why I keep calling it a scraper. I guess because that's what I do with it, I scrape it. Though I guess the correct term is actually file, so... I'm very thankful to Risk for teaching me the water trick. Dipping it in water and then scraping in order to make sure it doesn't pick everything up. It's very helpful. Here's the other one. Yeah, this is like flat on, so I'm not really able to scrape it away without damaging the rest of the part. It's fine on some parts, and then on other parts, the stress marks just really don't want to go away. Like here, it went away really well. It's barely there anymore. It's just a little dot. I'm really excited for the Gundam Breaker 4 Open Network test tomorrow. If you follow my Twitter, I say to a grand total of 0 people. I'm I got it, downloaded it, and I was told, oh, I saw that online needs the account. Here we go. Like a Nintendo Online subscription. Which is a bit silly, given the whole point of the beta is to stress test the network. You would want as many people to play it as possible. But luckily, I had made a new account specifically for streaming for the network. I was considering paying for it. I was. 7-day free trial. That's what we like to see. That's what we like to see. Because the open beta, sure it's free, but given that you're wanting as many people to play it as possible, it's a bit nonsensical. The full game requiring a paid subscription I don't like, due to the fact that you pay for the game and then you have to pay more in order to play the full thing. See, I'm on the no accounts to get online features bandwagon. Anyway, there's this part nice and done, and now we just need to get M2. That's this part here. This bit plugs into here. This part, okay, with it facing this. Alright, it's flipped because this is showing one of them, not the other. So with it facing like this, that like this. Nope, I'm lost. Okay, facing this way. You want this part doing that. This part. Plugged in here, so this part is sticking out the back. Okay, there we go. And then you want to get F6. Which is the same thruster we used last time, and is a part that has the stress marks come out nice and easily. You know, at first I was a bit disappointed that I wasn't able to get like nice looking like fingerless gloves. I was wanting something like what my model has, where they're tight to the hand and they have that little gap. Let me see if I can just... Nope, it's being weird. Is it like this? Okay. Head on. Turn. Turn. No, don't look down. Why are you looking down? Connect for a camera. Very good choice. 10 out of 10 would recommend. That essentially with just that little square or rectangle gap on the back sort of thing. Very glad I got these. They're still nice, they're warm and comfy, nice and padded. Thanks to being fingerless, I don't get in the way of articulation. And I can just clean this on them. I just randomly did it to dry it off, and I was like, wait a minute, it took off all the scuff with it. So that's very nice. Risk! Hey Risk, how you doing? Oh, right. I'm doing quite well. I got lots of stuff done today, and I am so ready for tomorrow. Okay, that's that part done. P2, and we want to grab 12, which is this part. Bonus good thing about the stream where I'm playing the Gundam Breaker game. Gundam Breaker doesn't require using my phone as a camera, so I can use it just off to the side like I used to before I got the whole PC rig and debuted as a as a degenerate VTuber. And so I'll be able to use it to see how many viewers I have and all that. Which will be very nice since I can't actually see how many viewers I have on OBS. Okay, over here we need to grab 1. Oh, Risk, can you do me a favor? I need to ask something of you. Of how buggy it gets when something goes in front of the camera. Hey, Rin! Rin meet Risk, Risk meet Rin. That's gonna get a tongue twister if I do it too fast. Risk, Rin is the person I'm going to be playing, like, Gundam Breaker, and I was asking you if you wanted to join us on the second day. Heyo! Rin, this is Risk. He's a long-time viewer from before I debuted as a VTuber, and he taught me so much stuff about using, how to, like, make Gunpla and all that. Typhoeus Gundam has a giant backpack that'll, like, essentially I'm building up a giant thing for it. You can see it here. This is the leg of the mobile armor. It's a big dragon head that has bits on the inside. Can be used as a shield when not used as a leg. Can open up to reveal a giant cannon. So it's my favorite type of shield, where you can just point it at someone and blast. All the bits can fire while still in the shield. And it looks a bit like a trapinch with the big head and little legs. And clips onto the leg, and it's really cool. And I'm building the second one. Okay, okay, so on this side... No, this side faces outwards. It's from the Metaverse anime. It was the mobile suit of the quote-unquote villain of that one. The show wasn't very good. It was like 3 episodes, it was rushed, and had all sorts of issues with it. Such as the fact that this thing, the mobile armor, with parts from mobile armor final bosses from throughout the entire franchise, was destroyed off-screen. So, the base form, this one, is absolutely trashing the main character. The main character starts to push back, and then the pilot's like, oh yeah, you think you can push back? summons in the giant dragon form of the mech, because the mech has a dragon form where it just flies around and can be used to do stuff, transforms it into the giant mobile armor, and becomes an absolute behemoth, starts destroying the main character, and then we cut away to stuff from like characters of the previous series fighting, cut back, the mobile armor is destroyed, this thing's on its last legs, and then the main character finishes her off with some speech about sisterly love and all that, because her whole motivation was the main character's master. I just realized I didn't put myself back down. Her whole villain motivation was, me and my sister were doing a gunplug competition together. I lost, and so my sister quit, because the whole reason she was there was to fight me in the finals, and so she's looking down on me and mocking me, so I'm gonna become a bad guy for some reason. So that one was not very liked. It had some cool moments. Yeah, literally. So have you ever seen Build Fighters? Because in that, there was a competition where only female players were allowed to enter to see who the best female player was. Just as like a little promotional thing. Basically just what games do, where they try to pander to girl gamers, because they know that's a huge demographic that just isn't pandered too much. And so that was a thing in the original show. Metaverse comes along. Yeah, I think it's the race episode of Fighters. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't actually watched too much of any of the Gundam series. I've been meaning to. They're on my watch list with like a million other things. And I really like the model kits. Yeah, so the sisters partook in that. One of them got defeated. And then the other sister, who's the teacher of the main character, who teaches him some really interesting lore about how the Gundams work in this series, where essentially you got a big old bazooka. Well, this is a big cannon in this terms, but whatever. It fires. Your Gundam's arm is not going to be able to handle that. You need to have it like a double jointed shoulder in order to make it work. And so what ends up happening is the main character does that. So that's just like an interesting thing. It was literally just, I don't like my sister, so I'm gonna beat up some unrelated little kid. And she knew that her sister was gonna be there and would be attacking her friend, who's just a little kid who just likes Gunpla, and chooses not to participate because she didn't feel like she had the right to confront her or whatever. I don't even know, man. Like, it had some cool Gundams. Risk was showing earlier, he finished his... Where's 6? Oh, here's 6. He finished his build of the Strike Galaxy that has LEDs in it. And so there's all sorts of cool Gundams that came out of it. Although, I don't like the 00... As much as I like the 00 Diver arc, I would have preferred it to be an evolution of Sky, not Diver. Due to the fact that not only does this thing still have the same issues as Diver... Because it's not even Diver Arc, Diver Ace. It's from Diver. Diver was a mess that got stabilized by Ace, and then finished by scrapping the whole thing and starting over with Sky, using what he had learnt. Because even with Ace being a bit more stable, it still had all these issues. Like, Trans Am is temporary, despite having 2 drives, and puts way too much strain on the Gundam. And so now he still does that. Like, that was just a thing because he was inexperienced at the time in the show, and then, like, as he gets better and the show progresses, he builds new ones and they get rid of that issue. But in Metaverse, he builds from Ace, or from Diver. So it's not stable, so Trans Am is still all problematic. And the Trans Am, like the GN drives, pop off to become swords, resulting in him not being able to use Trans Am at all because of how unstable it is. So it's an awesome design and uses glow-in-the-dark plastic as the GN parts, like the GN blades and all that, which is awesome. But it's just a mess because it's just not well built. He worked with a bad foundation, really. So yeah, it was fan service, but it was poorly done fan service. Where they didn't even, like, give the Gundams proper justice. That's the M runner completed. You got one of the 1 in 100 raffle kits? That's so cool. Oh, wait, you sold it immediately. What's wrong with the, yeah. It's literally just, like, the GN blade bits on him are just, like, a glow-in-the-dark plastic. Bad on the nippers. I saw a review talking about it. It didn't mention anything about, like, it damaging the nippers at all. Fair enough, yeah. I got like $25 ones at like a local hobby shop. They have God Hands, but like I just got a starter set. I've been using them for years. Still going strong. Dude, I saw this post, it was like years ago, where somebody's mum used their God Hand nippers as pliers to get to do some work on the front screen door. Or the front door, like the screen door part, and ended up just breaking the nippers. Like the God Hand just, like a part just snapped off. Yeah, so he was so mad. Obviously he didn't like scream at his mum and all that. He handled his emotions maturely. He just explained, yeah, those aren't meant for metal. Those are very fragile. They're meant for plastic model kits, and they're like $100. And so then the mum bought him new ones. But it was just a horror story, because what happened was the mum just said, hey, why are your pliers so weak? It's like, hey, I was trying to use your pliers on the door and they broke. And he was just like, I don't own pliers. What are you talking about? Yes, you do, the one you use for model kits. And he died inside. And then he got home, took photos, and posted the situation online, because, like, by then he found it funny. I'm not gonna lie, if I'm a bit sad the Fukasetsu, the funny unicorn Gundam that's piloted by an actual horse. I'm a bit sad that that's not in the open network test, because I've seen how it works in 3, where its entire body is a set of legs, and so your Gundam will become a centaur. And I've seen the full list of like Gundams that's in Gundam Breaker 4, and I cannot remember if it's in there. I would be mad if it's not in there. I was about to open up a browser in VTube Studio, thanks to that being a new feature, in order to... Yeah, I remember the promo video did show them off. Right, yeah. Because I searched it up earlier to show someone, it just came up with Gundam Breaker 3, and I thought, was the thing I saw Gundam Breaker 3? Anyway, I was about to pull up the image because I absolutely love it and want every opportunity to show it off using VTube Studio's new inbuilt browser software, where like you can open a browser in VTube Studio, and then I just remembered, oh wait, I use open without Steam, so I don't have to bother with having Steam open as well, which soon won't be an issue since I'll be doing it with stuff as well. I forgot, because since I opened without Steam, that's my go-to button for it. I don't actually have the update downloaded yet. So I actually have to do that after this. Oh, OBS has a browser thing? Because I don't know how to use OBS. I have no idea what I'm doing. Yeah, lots of people are happy about VTube Studio's new features. Although one of them does require like a payment subscription to something outside of VTube Studio, it does add better Discord integration, so people are willing to do that for like collabs and whatnot. Right. Yeah, I don't have the collab DLC, so I actually can't do that. The only way I know how to do collabs would be to literally just, obviously only showing my screen, just have me be here and then the game over here, and then use the computer's audio for, like, the computer audio section in order to give myself just, like, Discord audio being played so that people can just hear us chat. Which one do you want to do again? Yeah, it's the downward one. Anywho, I just got to quickly do something. Oh god, no. Risk has gotten you indoctrinated into the cult of eating my gunpla. I don't want to eat my gunpla. Stop telling me to eat my gunpla. It's that one Akira meme. Get out of my head. Build my gunpla. I can't. I eat it at all. Okay, so that's that on. Then 25. Yeah, while I was building my PC and making my model, because, like, you can tell from the artwork, this was made by me. It's not very good. And so, what ended up happening was, I just didn't stream, but I went out and got a bunch of gunpla. So I have a bunch of gunpla that I haven't built. I have this high-grade Sazabi, high-grade 00 Arc from the Metaverse anime, and a couple others. And then this part, scrape it down. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm both afraid to say it because I know people will think less of me, but I feel bad if I don't. The way that I made this model was by going onto different, like, anime character creator things that are around, downloading the final result, and then tracing over bits and pieces and modifying them. Because I cannot draw, so that's the only way I was able to actually design a model. These wings, if you go on, like, Hero Forge and you see the large cybernetic wings, that's what I base these wings off of. So, vastly different, but the bases were still, like, traced in Critter in order to make it, because I can't do artwork, and until I can justify purchasing, like, a full model, I'm not going to. So yeah, that is how I did that. And then did the rig myself. Oh! Human Bakugan. No. Okay, my keyboard is a pain. It has these extra buttons down the side called P1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. They're all linked to F24. My keyboard does not go higher than F12. I don't know why 24 is the number. So they all are for the one button. And they barely ever work. I have to spam them to do it. And I have to press 2 and 4 at the same time. And it still doesn't work. Still didn't work. Nope. There we go. Do you see what I have to put up? I'm going to have to link it to something else. You know what? Doing that now. Ignore everything that's about to appear around me. Yeah, you're not able to see it right now. Let me pull it over so I can show you. F24. So we're going to change that to the I'm gonna record and hit down. So now whenever I press down, nice. So I'm very proud of that toggle because, yeah, I don't move as well as they do in Live 2D when rigging it, but I made the wings move around on their own, which looks really good, but you win some, you lose some, I guess. Probably just need to increase the sensitivity to make them move more. Or, you know, like to strengthen the physics. Few which from Mercury high grades. Sazabi Ka, Sinanju, real grade Exia, that's a nice one. Yeah, they are expensive. Like, I know I can get them at places where it's not too bad, but still. Oh, and you were saying the Zaku 2 wasn't in the beta test. That's because they're aware that people worldwide were taking part in the Japan beta test. It happened a couple months back. They're not repeating any Gunpla. So anything other than like the obvious ones, like the RX-78-2, anything in this beta is not going to have been in the original beta. So all the ones they really wanted to show off, like the G Self Perfect Pack, the Exia, the Unicorn, the full armor Unicorn, not in this new one. It ain't there. So we're gonna have to wait for the full game to get to try those ones out. So that's why things like the Zaku aren't in it. Still a bit sad, but the idea is they don't want to give us too many Gundams, but they do want to show off that they are making more. Yeah, the Hakyu Shiki looks cool. Oh yeah, if you join, if you go to Finished Works, Risk posted the Strike Galaxy, and it has LEDs inside the red, or the pink v red parts. It looks so good. Alright, so that's the legs done. And so here's the fun part. You grab this, take the stilettos, close them up. And then this part, they can see, like there's a peg and a bar. There's the hole. Alright, you gotta flip this bit to the side. Not sure what this bit is for yet. That part I just flipped to the side, this little bit here. Presumably for the plane form. Either way, once you do that, take these little bits that stick out, wrap them around the leg, flip. You want to flip that up. That's one of the legs completed. Now to attach the other one. Yeah, I have like a glass case. It was like $100 and it's nearly full. But I don't have any room for more glass cases. So I'm gonna have to start getting to that point where I keep Gundams in boxes. This one attached a lot better than the other one. What happened over here? Oh, I see what happened. I didn't give these guys a little bend in the knee, so to speak. There we go. Oh, you got the Atlas Gundam? That's sick. I love the Atlas Gundam's shoulders and the way it stores beam sabers. It's very rare that Gundams do something with the shoulders other than just look pretty like these ones, absolutely gorgeous. So it's also always cool to see that. So this is what a majority of people see when they see me being 6'1". I'm just towering over them with incredibly long legs. I mean, the wings certainly help, given the flight, but... Yeah, see, this is what I look like in real life. These are totally my legs. Accurate scale, like scaled down representation. The antenna. No, wrong toggle. There we go. Boom. Problem solved. Now, yep. Makes sense. Yep. By the way, the reason I have this off most of the time does not look good. Like, it barely moves. And it looks so bad going back. I can rig models. The artwork for this stuff, there's no shading other than the neck shadow. There's no good detail in the stuff. Okay, I love the ear movement. I'm so proud of that. But still, they don't look the best. So, like, the flat hair, it just does not look good. Oh, right, yeah, I'm Zordon. Wait, let me get my mouse. I have two monitors, and one of them showing like this, and the other time, if I'm on VTube Studio stuff, I am actually Zordon, master of the... I forgot what the Power Range... Was it the Power Core or something? I don't know. Either way, absolute behemoth. Put him up there for now. He's still poking in there. Onto the arms. So then, this part takes D, C, L, and that's it for now. Okay, that's actually good. One thing I don't like about this manual is this part right here. It just says use every runner. It doesn't specify runners for each part of the Chimera form. This is A. Well, it does use like the Neo Zeon as one of its base units. That's J. I'm very interested to see what the katana is used for, because it looks really cool. It seems to have parts that are used in its component parts kits. That's Q. This is D. L1. If I'm correct... Okay, this is also D. That's two sets of D. So let's put that one to the side for now. That's B. This should be C. Yep, that's C. Yeah, so it, like I said earlier, it uses the forms, like the mobile armor final bosses throughout the series as its base. Alright, there we go. There's already not enough room. I have to keep the runners on the floor off to the side. Okay, start out with... Oh, hey, Q is needed here. So this is where the last of Q is used. There we go. Okay, we need 5, 12, and 13. Oh, here's 12 and 13. I do wish mobile armors were in the upcoming game, that it would be too difficult to do. I'm fine with them being bosses. I want to fight the Exia Type E, or GN Arms Type E. Because as much as I want to play them, I understand it's too difficult to implement. I'd at least like it to be a boss fight. Yeah, it's possible. Can I just say, if there's one thing I could have added to the game, or like one system I could change, it would be Trans Am and Psycho Frame. Wait, why am I scraping down these parts? They're not visible. So Trans Am and Psycho Frame worked differently in the old games than they do in this game. And I want that old way back, because that old way is simultaneously hilarious and a huge, like, skill check. If you try to use it and you are not good at the game, you cannot use it. This is not gatekeeping. This is a rite of passage. Prepare to suffer. Essentially, using using Gundam the Battle 3D as my example. Sorry, I'm just figuring out which way things go. The Battle 3D, what ends up happening with the Unicorn Gundam, which is post-game, with some really, really tough and unfair challenges to unlock it. So you do actually have to be good. The skill check comes before you unlock it. So it tests to make sure you're worthy of it first. The way that the game handles it is, the Unicorn has a few weapons. It has its iconic beam rifle, it has a bazooka, and it has the minigun on its shield, and obviously melee and its shield to block. Entering Psycho Frame, your speed is near uncontrollable. It's insanely fast. Your damage increases, and you no longer have to wait between attacks. Because, taking the bazooka for example is the big change. 3 shots. 1, 2, 3, wait. 1, 2, 3, wait. 1, 2, 3, wait. Like, you can only fire 3 with a second in between, then you gotta wait 2 seconds, then you can fire again. Psycho Frame Active, you don't have to wait. You can just continuously fire that thing over and over and over until you run out, reload, start over again. It is busted, especially close range. Due to your near uncontrollable speed, if you learn to control it, I played melee for a while to force myself to learn to control it. You can literally just close the gap, point blank, bam, 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 like with bazookas, in order to, like, stun locks them, point blank, no dodging, no escaping, no blocking, blitz them, it's great. And so, that was, like, that's how it should be. I know there's a Gundam PSP game that Trans Am is a form in, and it's uncontrollably fast, to the point where, when your opponent's using it, you can't even see them move. Like, you can't, there's no time to react if you're in melee range, they're just too fast for you to react to. That is how it should be. I think it is X versus, yeah. I'm not sure, I just saw a clip where someone was fighting the GNX, and they attacked it, and then it went behind them and started to combo them, hitting them again and again and again, faster than they could even react. By the time they did their sword swing animation, it was behind them and doing its combo. Like, it couldn't even react. Because that's what Trans Am is meant to be. And then you learn this is what the new types and innovators have to put up with. They're built different, which is why they can handle it, but you certainly aren't. It's just a huge skill check of, oh wait, did you think you were as good as a new type? I don't think so. Char's Zaku has a speed boost faster than Trans Am. That is the most glorious sentence I have ever heard in my life. Oh, this is the wrong way. Gotta use the other one. Yeah, that was 7, I need 8. That was actually one of the... I know about the fight, I haven't seen it yet, but I know the fight in the original series, where Char shows up in a custom color Zaku. Nothing else about it. Literally just a different coat of paint. Absolutely clowns on Amuro Ray. Literally, he takes one hit and it's over. He does not take one hit. Okay, the ear weagle's a bit too strong when I'm turning my head. One quote I know that perfectly encompasses how that fight went is, why would I wear armor if I'm not gonna get hit? Okay, so we put this aside for now. Yeah, it goes down here. So next up, bunch of parts from C&L. Also, Q goes away now. Yeah. Okay, so from L, we need 6 and 3. I've only ever done Build Divers Season 1 and 2, and Witch from Mercury Season 1 and 2. So I just have an insanely long watch list, so I don't ever get around to actually watching stuff. Alright, and now 6. But, one thing I am disappointed about is, the fact that, GN Arms Type E is my favorite mobile armor, and one of my favorite things in the entire franchise. I'm genuinely so mad that we don't get to see it, like, playable in games, other than the turn-based ones. You know what else? What really grinds my gears? Yeah, Cross Ray is, like, it's so cool. But it's turn-based. I want to play as the thing flying around. But what really makes me annoyed about Breaker 4 is the AI character. Because one of the commentators in the game is an AI character, like in context, like in universe, and not an actual AI. And the reason I don't like her is because they already have an AI character. They have Mello, who they are wanting to use for the metaverse, which they're not doing anything with. What's going on there? So I really want to see Mello because she's awesome, and I stole her hat and I want to mock her about it. But I don't get to because they they put her in the anime. Like, she made a short cameo, just her face appearing in the anime. I saw in the metaverse there's like a billboard thing with her talking. And they didn't use her for the game or anything. So I'm not gonna get to mock her about how I stole her hat. Like, obviously, I get the feeling I'm gonna like the AI character. Apparently she's gonna have goofy shenanigan conversation dialogue with the DJ aesthetic commentator. I took off the wrong part, didn't I? Yeah, I grabbed 14 instead of 13. They're identical except for the back. One of which is a tiny dot and a line, and one is just a circular peg. Luckily, we're about to need this anyway. It is needed here, but still. Because they're all identical from above. I wanted to have a running joke of me just getting really excited whenever Mello appeared, and now I don't get to do that because she's not going to. I'm also really mad that, the two of you... Where's my angry toggle? No, that's my sad toggle. I don't have an angry toggle. I forgot to make one. The two of you, it's like 3 a.m. with Risk. It's 4 a.m. with you. What? Why are you working out at 4 a.m.? That is not the time to be working out. See you later. I don't want to see you here again. No way, someone who's actually capable of acting on their 4 a.m. impulse motivation. I mean, the rule is literally don't listen to your brain after 9 p.m. because it starts just having dumb ideas. And it's like super negative and stuff. You wait long enough and get to 3 and suddenly you're all motivated. Can I just say, you posting I blame my and then procrastination as second, like 2 different messages, could have been the funniest joke ever if you had like spaced out the time more, so it looks like you procrastinated on saying procrastinating. I really want to, like, be a funny man, haha. So I can just take every perfect joke opportunity, which I can consistently do already, but I want to get better at it. Anyway, no, you don't gotta sleep, don't gotta train, you gotta sleep, go to bed. Before you go though, can you quickly search up the Gunpla tag on Twitch? I want to show you something really funny because I checked it earlier. C24. Here it is. There are only 2 people actually building Gunpla, and that is me and somebody building a master grade something. I forgot what it was. Everyone else is doing completely other stuff and just has the Gunpla tag in their stuff for, like, no reason. And honestly, that's how the Gunpla tag basically always is. Yeah, you should be tagging your stuff. But yeah, so the Gunpla tag, it's just used for people who aren't building Gunpla, and I don't know why. I guess because no one even is building it, and then people forget to just take it off at some point. But still. Okay, so here's where 14 goes. It truly do be like that. Anyway, I've shown you the funny. Go to bed. Make sure you sleep. Because I might not be as busy as I'm thinking I'll be tomorrow. I likely will. This is fever dream hope level. I'm copium. I'm huffing the copium. There is a sliver of hope that I get to play Gundam Breaker for beta tomorrow. I used to be a fan of Yu-Gi-Oh! I have some really cool cards. A friend of mine gave me all their old stuff recently because they moved their room about, so they couldn't keep a bunch of stuff, so I got a bunch of their Bakugan and Beyblades and Yu-Gi-Oh! But my own deck, it was Zark. Then I saw how convoluted Yu-Gi-Oh! Has become, and I just decided that I didn't want to do that. Like, I don't hate Yu-Gi-Oh! I just do not have the power to do that. Yeah, as the running joke has been, I don't want to play with a Wikipedia article. Obviously I don't know the competitive scene too well, but something I've noticed is that they're all just the exact same thing. Like, they're all just spend 5 years summoning cards on their first turn, and it's all just the same thing. Summon this card, send a card to your graveyard, then they play a different card, which is bring it back, constantly search through your deck to get stuff, draw stuff, play stuff, all that. And every deck does it, and it kind of just doesn't feel very interesting. So that's why I don't know the current meta. Because from what I've seen, everyone does the same, so I just don't bother learning it. Okay, then we grab 16. And I've just spent this entire time chatting. I built one leg, and I haven't even finished the arm. Okay, now 22 and 7. Yeah, see ya, hopefully on Friday. Not Friday. Yeah, see you in 2 days. Oh. And 7. Here we go. Bye. Alrighty then, back to talking with the ether. I definitely grabbed 22. Why is it looking like it's asking for 21? I grabbed 23. I read that 3 is a 2 because of the glare of the light I have above. Yep, little bits of scuff to get rid of. Where's my file? There's that one gone. Okay, now, oh yeah, that's pretty obvious. Oh, pretty obvious. You just plug it in. There's a bit here where it slides into stuff, and you get this bit. This part here has this plug into it. Then slide it over to lock it in, and swing it over like this. Push it the whole way. There you go. And now C26 and 14. Yeah, so hopefully we finish the 2 arms. I think that would be some good progress to make today. That's the best I'm doing. This part's not going to go away too much. There you go. See that there? Oh. Okay, then hold it like this way round, and it slides in. Oh yeah, okay. Boop. Turn that around like this and get D6. Oh, well, that's a lot of lines. So this plugs in this way round. And it plugs in like this. Oh, Rin went to bed. They finished their workout, and it's like 4 a.m. And I went on a rant when I found out about how the two of you are absolutely terrible with your sleep schedules, and then he went to bed. Just found something cool. This part slides. Oh, wait. Yeah, this part can't slide back or forwards. That's actually a shame. I thought it could. Yeah, so Rin's gone for now. Okay, this part plugs into here. And then you get C17. Oh no, Risk. They're gonna wake up with like a notification saying that they got mentioned in the chat. Okay, then this part connects into this, like so. Hi. My little doggy just came in. And then we just cross my legs so you got somewhere comfy. Right. Oh my god, baby! I got you. Did you miscalculate the jump? She tried to jump up onto my lap but miscalculated the distance. Fell short and then slipped off. She got her front, like the front half of her body onto my lap and then slipped backwards. So I picked her up. Alright then. Now, this part goes like this. You can see there's some spaces for stuff, and there's some stuff here. Where is the file? Okay, I've lost the file. Where is it? So I'm looking for the black, but it was upside down, so I saw the white. Okay, something hasn't gone in correctly. Can't see where though. And I did plug it in, so that's alright then. Yeah, this thing just scratches it up. Because it's meant for removing material, not cleaning it. Yeah, the scratches aren't really going away. That sucks. I see that you sent a little bar. Not really sure what that bar is. Let me see. Does it have a name? How do I pronounce that? Aetholid, I guess. Either way, with that part done, get to work on the next bit. Which is putting this down here for now. Then D4, 10, and 11. This is 4. And 11. I eat cheese every day, I'll have you know. I had cheese with my toast and cheese with my sandwich. Alright, so damn, he really just went, you can't have eaten your cheese because I eated it first. Alright, now 14 and 15. Which are these parts that totally look like they could be GN condensers. Yeah, I can't really get rid of that. That sucks. Either way. Oh. And now 9 goes over both sides. Oh. So I need to do my best to make this part look good. Whoa, my eyes just did something weird. Oh right, I have a toggle which changes a bunch of stuff about my model, including my eyes. But because of how my eyes are set up, and how it's set up, it ended up messing the eyes so that it was shooting like way off to the side. So I managed to fix it in the software. And so now I can do the eye thingy, which I'm going to show off in the Gundam game. Because it's for when I get super duper serious. Of course, it's done really poorly since I'm new to art. The rigging of it is done well. I quite like it. I've learned a lot of stuff about rigging toggles on that level, thanks to it. Okay, this part needs C and L2. 9 and another number. And then 23. I grabbed 22 earlier. So this is going to be used on the other arm. And then over from L we need 2. Not too big an ask, that. And we also need 1. Alright, there we go. That's the next segment of the arm. Now we get 2. Put it like this. Nope. Yep, this one's 9. Goes like that. Then over on the other one. Get this part where we plug in this. And this is interesting. This has a peg slot. And while this does go in, and looks pretty neat, it can slide up. So that can be used for all sorts of stuff there. With it in position. Plugs in there, filling up the space nicely. And then plug this in. Oh, there we go, it clicked. That's very nice of it. Now take this, put it over here. Okay, C, we're going to need 5. Choose one of these little gold panels that kind of look like vents. I should make a steampunk Gundam. I just randomly thought, oh, more Gundams should have like vents on them. They could look like steampunk. I should totally make one. Because I know the Zaku and lots of other Gundams have pipes that go around and all that. I could make them colored to be copper pipes. Oh, that would look so good. Okay, so we need 16, 17, and 19. $19 is this one here. Take 16, scrape down the parts that are going to be visible. Much better. Yeah, so that we're going to finish the other arm, but you know what? We'll get started on it. At the very least. Okay then. This part. With the little gaps in it goes up the top. You could totally store something in here. Anyway. Put that in there. 19 upside down goes in here. Plug it in fully. And then this part goes on like that. That goes there. Last bits of L1. 4 and 5. This part does not want to get scraped off. Okay, well that's good. I can use the balancer for the rest. Yeah, so that's the best I can do. What you're going to want to do is grab this part. Which one of these is 4? Not this one. This one's 4. Plug 4 on. Oh, okay. I think. Oh, I had it upside down. Yep, plug 4 on with the dots in this formation. Plug this little guy into 4. Like this, and then it'll be able to like be up in one bit and slide down for the other bit, which the gold isn't fully showing, but that's okay, I guess. Just get that plugged in properly. Plug this bit over it. It doesn't look very nice because there's this... Oh, whoa. Calm down there, buddy. There's the 4 scuff marks that I just can't get rid of. But I can use the balancer on them at the very least. Yeah, it's just too much. Can't fix that. That's disappointing. Either way, you take that, take this part, with it facing this way, and this part facing this way, so the gap bit here, where it can bend, is facing this way. Plug it in. C1 and C3. Okay, well, looks like we're not even going to have time to get started on the next one because we're about to finish the 2 hours that I stream every night. That's a shame. Oh well. If I don't manage to do the beta, I'll do more of this tomorrow. If I do manage to do the beta, I'll be doing this when the whole thing's over, because I'll be spending the time watching beta footage from other people so I can see what sort of stuff they're doing. Okay, so with the side that has it's a bit confusing. So they didn't show the detail of it properly, I don't think. Okay, so C1 goes on this side. Yep. You can see from the dots here and the dots here. And you know whether these ones line up or not. You plug that good and proper in. There's that bit. Then before you put the other one in, you get C6. Which doesn't do anything here, but can connect to stuff. Like it'll connect like this and all that. And you just fold it down. And now it's got the same little bump out that one does, but it can fold out to do stuff. It's got a spot for your nail to flip it out and everything. And you just plug that on the other side. Now for the final thing, both of these out of the way, and you get E, which is purely for the hands. And what you're going to do is you grab 4 for this one specifically. And, okay, just give me a minute to mute. Okay, so 4, 3, oh, landed on my dog, and 7. And the detail's so small, I'm probably not going to panel line it. Actually, I would, so it's more visible. So obviously this isn't going to be able to show, but it's got the little lines that go around the barrels of stuff. Either way. File it down. It's a bit of a shame. The reason I muted was someone had to talk to me. I do have to go now, so I'm not even going to get to finish the arm. But I'll finish this finger. There we go. Scrape the finger. There we go. And then plug it into the thumb. That's the thumb completed. Tomorrow we'll make the fingers, put the parts on, slap it on. For now I'll put this bit together because it's satisfying. We got the big Zaku shield on the shoulder. I do like the Zaku shield shoulder combo. I was saying earlier, I wish they did more things with shield or with shoulders. That's one example of them doing that. And with the one that moves being on the outside, plug it in here. And you plug, oh, that's on correctly. Yep, okay. And the whole thing plugs into this spot here. There we go. So, I will see you next time, and hopefully next time's in a bit from me having played so much Gundam Breaker 4. See ya.